You know what? A lot of people refuse to believe that their siblings were treated differently by their parents. This is so true. It's true. Stick around. That's what we're talking about today. Welcome to my channel. We're back with another video. And today, we are going to talk about how siblings were treated different by their parents, intentionally and unintentionally. Hi, I'm Auntie Camille, better known as the Master Manifester. Check me out over on TikTok, Auntie_Camellia. Check me out on Instagram, Auntie_Camellia. Click the like button and leave a comment and let me know what you think. So, today we had this conversation. I had a conversation with one of my clients regarding being treated differently by parents, by parents or grandparents. And when I tell you this is so true, I mean it's true. People got a bad habit of saying, oh no, mama didn't do that and daddy didn't do that, and blah, 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 blah. Every child has a different relationship with their parents. Every child had a different relationship with their parents. Say what you want to say. The oldest child usually is the example child. That's the one that is responsible, the wing leader, okay? And so all the pressure is put on that older one. And if you're from my background, born in the 50s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, the oldest ones always got the whipping, the most beatings, okay? Because you're going to set this example. You're going to do what I say. The middle child usually just floating, okay? It's just floating. The parent don't, really have a relationship with that middle child. Go back in your life and think about what I'm saying. The youngest child gets away with everything. Why is that? You know why that is? It's because by the time the youngest child come in, the parent is tired from raising 1, 2, 3 kids. So by the time the baby come in, here, you can have this, you can do this, and blah, blah. But the oldest have more childhood trauma, and the middle child deal with more childhood trauma than the youngest one. And this has been my experience. This has been a lot of my clients' experience. Not to say that the parents was bad. They were human. They were doing the best they could with what they had. And then I had another situation where a family member was complaining about her mother, okay? And how she felt unloved by the mother. And I told them, because they were like, oh, my mama didn't do that, my mama didn't do that. Hold it. Your experience with your mother is different from her experience with her mother. You wasn't with them all the time. You understand? See, I give you an example. Me, 1 girl, 5 boys. I was taught to survive. I was taught, you better learn how to cook. You better learn how to do this. A man don't allow a man to do this to you. Don't allow a man to say this to you. Well, the boys were taught You go out there and be a man. You can pee in the middle of the street and nobody say nothing. Me, I was always on punishment. And I'm not complaining about it. I'm just basically showing you the difference in the children. The oldest brother was always the responsible one, who was always having to cook all the time and make sure that we ate and stuff like that because, mother had to go out and work now. And so those things over years, if you don't heal from those traumas or whatever it is, some people call it trauma. I don't know what it is. But you all have to understand that your mother and your father, if you had both parents in the home, they did the best they could with what they had. And what they did, however they were raised, they brought that with them. See, anybody hand you no book and told you, hey, raise the kids this way. They raised you based on how they were raised. Yeah, okay? So stop telling somebody, oh, mama didn't do that and daddy didn't do that. Each child has a different relationship with their parents. It don't make it a bad thing. It's just it just is. And once you recognize that, forgive them and move on, ain't nothing you can do about it. Okay? But don't tell anyone else that they should not feel a certain way about their mother or father, that they felt like they were treated different. Because parents do treat their kids different. If you had at least 3 children, now I know somebody had 2, and treated one different from the other. They only had 2. And so the oldest one wound up going through the system, because they put so much on that person. Yeah. So, again, a lot of times parents raise their kids based off of how they were raised. That's the only teacher they have. It's how they were raised. Whether you went through the foster system, you're going to raise your kids with them people taught you. You understand? So stop telling a person that they shouldn't feel a certain way. If anything, allow them to talk. Allow them to say what they're going to say. Okay? Allow them to grieve. Okay? Allow them to grieve and tell you their side of the story. And stop saying, oh, mama didn't do that, daddy didn't do that. You wasn't there all the time. My brothers wasn't there all the time. Okay? I moved back home a couple of times with my kids. Not that my mother and father were bad parents. I'm just basically saying I moved back home, so I was around my parents all the time. A lot more than the boys. Okay? And again, I was taught to survive. If this happened, go that way. If that happened, go that way. So I didn't get the love. They were so busy trying to make sure that I didn't go down the wrong road that they forgot to say, hey, I love you. And that's okay. I'm okay with it now. Well, I never was against it, but I'm just okay with it. And so a lot of people need to heal. We need to heal. And when somebody come to you and say, if your sister or your brother come to you and say, hey, daddy was treated me different than he treated, allow them to say what they're going to say. Their experience with pops or mom was different from yours. You have no right to do that to them. Let them speak what they're going to speak and stop calling them crazy, because they're not. They are only speaking their truth, their experience. All right? So let's get a handle on that. In the meantime, please don't forget to hit the like button, thumbs up, hit that thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel. We're trying to grow. We're growing this channel. I'm expecting growth, okay? I'm being more consistent. and posting more because it don't take long. All right, I'm going as I'm going. I'm not even trying to edit a lot of things anymore. I'm just you accept me for who I am, where I'm at. I am okay. All right. In the meantime, I will be posting more consistently, and I want you to trust the process and never give up. Trust the process. Pay attention to what I said about trust the process. Okay? And again, there's nothing wrong when somebody says that, hey, mama or daddy treated me different. Stop telling them they're wrong for saying that. They're not wrong for saying that. They're getting things off their chest. They are speaking their truth. Let them vent to you. You don't have to respond. Just because somebody says something to you doesn't mean you have to respond. Okay? All right. Trust the process and never give up.